Let's go. I found a way out of the city. But be careful. You are weakened, and creatures roam these tunnels. I will lead the way. There you are. You're free.
You have saved our lives. How can we thank you?
We will never forget what you have done for us on Al-Manawi.
Yes, we will always be grateful.
We're not very far from the Hikmet outpost. You'll have to be careful.
I know how to reach the port without being seen.
Perfect. As for you, you should take refuge in Fradee. You will be safe there, but you should avoid the Alliance patrols.
We'll get there. Kwa awalem segven.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sardet, and to what do I owe this honor?
I've been to Asili's laboratory and what I discovered was abominable. Hundreds of poor souls tortured, victims of horrifying experiments. There were so many dead that a pit had been dug to burn the bodies.
How horrifying. I cannot believe it.
The natives were not the only victims of these crimes. There are also a number of Nauts.
Nauts? Pardon me for doubting you, but do you have proof of what you say? And have you brought Dr. Asili to me so he may answer these accusations?
Yes, we captured him.
Really? Very well. I will ensure that he is judged as quickly as possible. What was done with the prisoners that were being held in the laboratory?
They were freed. The doneigada are satisfied and should call off their attack.
What a relief. Finally, some good news. How can I repay you?
By allowing me to take part in the trial proceedings. What I saw merits justice, and I fear that the accused will find a great many defenders amongst his fellow savants.
It is a rather novel request, but granted. I shall inform the prosecutor. Let us remember that the madness of a man should not cast a shadow upon the greater sum of his work. His research is perhaps our only chance of discovering a remedy. Would you like to speak with me about any other subjects?
Can you tell me anything about Dr. Asili?
Asili is a man of remarkable knowledge. One of our most brilliant sages.
You already told me that, Your Excellency.
He is one of those rare men who master alchemy, mathematics, and naturalism with equal assiduity. Anatomy has no secrets for him, and medicine is his passion. Do you realize that it was he who perfected the inoculation technique?
Inoculation? What is that?
A novel treatment that allows us to fabricate immunity to sickness, such as the pox. If any man can find a remedy for the malichor, it would be him.
I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
Hello. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
De Sardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. Governor Buran told me to pay you a visit.
Oh. It is you who arrested Dr. Asili, and must help me prepare the trial.
Exactly.
Excellent. We will have lots to do if we want the doctor to pay for his crimes. The accused has a lot of support. Any evidence and testimonies you can gather will be useful.
We'll have no problem gathering witnesses. His laboratory cells were full of them.
We will call them to the witness box, of course. But be aware that if the victims are natives, their words will unfortunately not carry much weight here.
There were also some Nauts. Perhaps I could convince some of the doctor's colleagues to talk.
Their testimony will be crucial. The word of other scholars is likely to be the only thing that condemns him. That plus any material evidence you can gather.
I picked up a strange powder in the laboratory. A substance that I've not been able to identify.
You should show it to an alchemist. We need to know what it is to be able to use it.
These documents describe Dr. Asili's work, as well as the horrible experiments he was performing.
Perfect. I will read them in detail. We will no doubt find something to support my prosecution.
I have found a letter proving that Dr. Asili voluntarily transmitted the malichor to my cousin, Constantin d'Orsay. I would like to add that I too was a victim of this poisoning.
Did the accused try to take the life of the governor of New Serene? This is an extremely serious crime.
Indeed. He saw my cousin and me as the ideal control group to prove his theories. And no humanitarian or diplomatic consideration could put a stop to his ambition.
This letter alone is crucial proof. I will put it on our file.
Do we have any chance of winning?
Yes, I am rather confident. You have provided overwhelming evidence. But if we had witnesses, we would have an even bigger chance of winning.
I will return to you soon. The Nauts should be at the port, and the islanders had to take refuge in Fradee. As for the scientists, they said they would go back to the governor's laboratory. I should give this powder to someone who can tell me what it is.
Sardet, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
I would like you to tell me about Asili.
I was expecting you to come and see me about this. What would you like to know?
Were you aware of Dr. Asili's experiments?
In part, yes. That's why I chose not to be his student any longer.
Why not say anything?
Because I never thought he would go so far. Over time, he became more and more cruel. I found his approach brutal. As if by meeting the natives it deprived him of all humanity. He spoke of them as test subjects, never as people. But there was a time when he was the greatest doctor and scientist in the Alliance. And I clung on to that memory.
You do know that you were captured thanks to him?
Yes, but I thought the natives wanted to trade us merely as prisoners of war. I was blind. And stupid. I regret it terribly.
Do you think, as your master does, that science justifies all sacrifices?
No. I may have believed that at one time, without of course ever imagining that we'd resort to such cruel treatment. But Dunkus, you and Siora have opened my eyes to the limits of science. To worship it as we do in the Alliance does not make us better than Teleme.
In your opinion, were the horrors practiced in this laboratory necessary for his research?
No, even if he was convinced of it. General interest outweighs the suffering of a few individuals. He wanted results quickly, to the point of neglecting slower, more humane methods. I hope we'll succeed in ensuring these experiments never happen again.
Would you be willing to testify against Dr. Asili during his trial?
Of course. I was going to talk to you about that. I want to convince my colleagues that we must give up these kind of methods. And even if it costs me dearly, I want my master to pay for what he did. Anything else?
I must leave you. Is everything all right?
Once again, thanks to you. These people wanted to kill me.
They certainly wanted to prevent you from testifying at the doctor's trial.
The doctor will be judged. I suppose you'd like me to testify about how we suffered.
Indeed. If you do not fear another attempt on your life by these men.
Don't worry. I won't put up with intimidation. From now on, my people will watch over me until I can testify. And I intend to witness the execution of our torturer. You can count on me.
Thank you. Your word will be crucial during the trial. I never thought I'd see you here again. Why are you still free?
Dr. Honor made sure that I was set free. He needed my help. What do you want?
What is your purpose here?
I helped Dr. Honor to understand the research of my former master. He's the one who became his successor.
I do hope that he doesn't use the same methods.
Of course not.
What about your other colleagues? What's become of them?
They felt guilty. They stopped their experiments and returned to Al-Sad.
What do the other scholars think of Dr. Asili now that his actions have been revealed for all to see?
Most still admire him greatly. He was the greatest amongst us, you know? They didn't witness what was happening in the lab, and they have little interest in the natives. For them, the main problem is political, given that the war against the rebels cost us dearly. Until they understand the horrors that happened there, they will not have any moral issues.
I discovered this strange powder in one of the laboratory's chests. Do you know what it is?
I did see the doctor using it once or twice, but I don't know what it is. But I can study it for you if you want. I have the tools that will allow me to do so here.
So? What is it?
It is a quintessence of black blood. Probably created using the blood of numerous patients. The doctor managed to harness the very concept of the malichor in this powder. A single pinch ingested by someone would be enough for them to be afflicted by the disease. With the quantities that you brought me, hundreds of people could be contaminated. It's terrifying. I cannot believe Asili would do such a thing. Here, these are my notes. I wrote down all the details of my experiments, as well as my conclusions.
Thank you. I will relay them to the prosecutor. Are you prepared to testify against Dr. Asili?
I would like to say no. You had me thrown in prison, and without Dr. Honor's intervention, I would still be there. But I can't stop thinking about what we did in that laboratory. I think only by testifying will I ease my conscience.
Thank you. Your story could change the outcome of this trial. I must leave you. What she saw working alongside Asili obviously upset her. She will make an excellent witness.
Dr. Honor, what do you want?
What is your role and what is your research topic?
I'm in charge of the governor's laboratories. My main research concerns the malichor, of course. Above all, we searched for a way to reduce the suffering of the sick.
Searched?
Now that we have access to my colleague Asili's work, it gives us hope of finding a cure.
So the crimes he committed while conducting his work do not concern you?
He will be judged for that. But it would be a shame for him to have done all this for nothing.
What do you think of Dr. Asili now that you've learned how he conducted his research?
Well, obviously the few excesses he has conceded himself are unfortunate, but he remains the greatest scientist that the Alliance has ever known. His work has had a profound effect on science. It seems quite unfair to me to reduce his life's work just to what he has done lately.
If I understand correctly, you will be one of his defenders.
Naturally. I don't deny that he made a terrible mistake, but he meant well. And he was probably acting on behalf of our helplessness to combat the malichor.
Would you agree to speak at the trial? Your influence could be crucial.
Oh, but I already intended to give a statement. His lawyer came to find me.
So are you ready to defend a man who used to torture and murder to advance his research?
Indeed, because I think the entire work of a scientist should not be judged on a single mistake. It is obvious that he should not have used such methods, but Asili has never been very political. I doubt he understood the implications of his actions.
So you're saying the only problem in this case is political?
Essentially, yes. The war he nearly caused could have been expensive for our governor and the city. But let's not fool ourselves. No tears will be shed over the fate of a few of those bloodthirsty savages.
Afra, did you have something to say to Dr. Honor?
Thank you, de Sardet. I feel it is my duty to warn him. You probably know that I was one of Dr. Isili's students.
Naturally. It is undoubtedly under his influence that you have developed this remarkable analytical spirit.
Perhaps. But my analytical mind also pushed me to refuse to continue working with him. I saw his madness and cruelty grow deeper, and what we discovered in this laboratory was abominable. We must condemn him, not only so he can pay for this crime, but to free science from these kinds of abject methods.
Very well. You've convinced me. I will now testify for the prosecution. It is true that it's time to turn the page and leave his cruel methods behind.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Honor is an influential scholar. His testimony would convince the judges.
Hey! You are the Onol Menawi who freed us. We managed to reach Vikshadir.
They told me what you did for them, Renaikse. Well done. I was able to give them the care they needed. Some wounds will take time to heal, but they are safe thanks to you.
I'm happy to see that they're better.
But you didn't come here for that, did you?
No. I came to ask for your help. The doctor who captured and tortured you is about to be tried for his crimes. He has a lot of support among his people. He's a respected man despite what he did. If we don't have testimony from some of his victims, he will surely be released.
You'll have our words. We'll go to the Grand City and tell our story.
And the Mad Lion will die for causing so much harm to our people.
May the earth engulf him. You can return to Hikmet. I'll make sure they get there in good health.
Thank you, Teer. And thank you all. I blame myself for forcing these poor people back to the city where they have suffered so much.
My people are strong and proud. They will not be afraid to speak in front of your judges for justice. Karans, do you need something?
I must leave you. See you later.
You have returned, Your Excellency. Do you have any news on our matter?
A Naut victim of Dr. Asili agreed to testify at the trial.
Excellent. This kind of testimony will certainly rattle his defense.
The Islanders will testify at the trial. Their injuries will surely convince the judges.
Indeed. But do bear in mind that the Islanders are not highly regarded in Hikmet.
I managed to convince the scientists in the Governor's laboratory to speak in our favor.
Excellent. These are not direct witnesses, but if they denounce the Doctor, we are sure to be heard.
I even got a testimony from one of Dr. Asili's colleagues.
Perfect. That will convince our scientists, and you know how important they are in Hikmet.
Afra, one of Dr. Asili's former students, has agreed to testify.
Excellent. This woman is very respected by the Governor. Her statement will carry a lot of weight.
An alchemist studied the powder that we found in the laboratory. Apparently, it's some kind of concentrate made from the blood of several patients with the malichor. It seems that less than a pinch of this powder is enough to contaminate whoever consumes it. There's enough here to make a small town sick.
A terrifying thought. I will add the analysis and this powder to the evidence on record. You have gathered overwhelming evidence. The defense will have a hard time saving the accused. I think we can go to trial with confidence now.
Will the trial begin soon?
It seems to be the right time. Excellent investigation work. I think we have every chance of winning.
Where will the trial be held?
At the palace. I regret to inform you that you will not be able to attend. However, I'm sure the Governor will keep you informed of the outcome of the proceedings.
Madame, congratulations. The trial was exemplary. Asili's madness was exposed to the entire world. And you have demonstrated the horror of his methods.
Thank you, Excellency. But all praise should be showered upon Sardet. The evidence he supplied was irrefutable.
It was necessary that you hear the victims, in order to understand the extremities to which your science has taken you.
Come now. One cannot conclude that science was guilty here.
Not science, but the savants were. It is never right to set aside humanity in the name of the common good. No knowledge justifies killing or torture.
Your words are wise, and I promise to remember them.
You have not always shown yourself a man of impeccable judgment, Excellency.
We are all, from time to time, victim of our own blind enthusiasm, that is true. But this trial has shaken my usual resolve. It may very well change the course of history.
Afra, are you certain that you want to attend this?
I do not want to attend. I must.
Dr. Asili, you have been found guilty of all accusations brought against you. In consequence, the Bridge Alliance Tribunal condemns you to death. Do you have any final words?
You treat me like a monster. But how many times have you stayed your own hands? So close to the goal to finally find a remedy, you would have done as I. What do a few lives mean when the future of all humanity hangs in the balance? You are nothing more than idiots, incompetents, and you, Baron, are the greatest hypocrite of all. You know that I am right.
Executioner, earn your pay.
You know that I am right.
Sardet, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
I'm under the impression that you've not learned as many things as you wanted by observing Duncas's clan.
That's true. I hope to discover the physical or alchemical mechanism behind their metamorphoses. But instead, I don't know. I think I now understand the bond that unites their people to this land. The links that connects them and the power of their culture. It's unexpected. I wonder if this couldn't become another subject for study. The study of people, their customs and beliefs. If I said that in Al-Sad, people would think I've gone mad, but here, everything is possible, right? Learning about the natives would allow us to stop being afraid of them, and to see them like fellow humans at last.
Tell me about your studies with Dr. Asili.
He was not always mad, you know. He was a renowned doctor back in Al-Sad. His unusual methods saved many lives, and I was very proud to be amongst his students. He taught me a lot. He was a great teacher. He was strict and severe, but he always pushed us to do our best. It's only when I joined him on the island that I understood that there was something wrong. He seemed changed and completely obsessed with the malichor. You know it killed his wife and 2 children. He was so shaken by that, he no longer showed any restraint in his research. Such a waste. For the natives he massacred as well as for science.
I must leave you.
Sardet, I'm happy to... Can I do anything for you?
I must leave you.
Karantz, do you need something?
I must leave you. See you later. Sardet Corsilion.
The Sardet, my young student. What can I do for you?
The mission you entrusted me with has made great progress.
Very well. Let's see. Oh, this is remarkable work. You explored the entire surface of the island. Well, almost. Congratulations. Thanks to you, our merchants and explorers will be able to reach the heart of this island safely. The Prince will surely be very grateful for this. I know I am. Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
I found some notes which were lost by Professor Serafedin. His expedition was far from easy.
Investigating such gigantic creatures is bound to be perilous.
Indeed. Unfortunately, we also found his corpse. I'm sorry.
Oh, poor man. His devotion to science cost him his life. I will make sure I share the works you have brought me with his family. This research is fascinating. It must have taken a formidable amount of courage to pursue it. But some sheets are missing. Keep an eye out for them, would you? Maybe you can find them. Can your old professor still prove himself useful?
Looking forward to seeing you again, Sardet. Constantine.
My dear cousin, I'm always happy to see you. What news do you bring?
We managed to solve the problem of the attacks on San Mateus.
Really? So, what was causing them?
The city and its outposts were continuously being attacked by animals. These beasts were led by a large creature that strangely resembled a mountain guardian.
This is the same creature which High King Vinbar turned into, isn't it?
Exactly. Except it looked sick and it didn't act like the High King did. It was calling the animals around it, and it seemed like it was transferring its disease to them before making them attack. I have never seen anything like it. And there's more. Hikmet was in a similar situation. Do you remember?
Of course. Don't tell me that a Guardian was involved there as well.
Yes. The governor was convinced that the attacks were led by the islanders. And yet they were being attacked as well. And it was by their side that I fought the creature. That time it was a Nardai Glenderman, a beach guardian. But it seemed just as sick. And it was also manipulating the animals to make them aggressive.
So, it would be some kind of epidemic affecting the Guardians. I don't see what we can do about it. Actually, I think you've already done what had to be done, by eliminating those that were threatening our neighbors.
Perhaps. But I'm certain there's more to it than a simple epidemic. These beasts attack in a coordinated fashion, which requires an intelligence that they don't have.
You're exaggerating, dear cousin. The attacks you thought were coordinated may just have been coincidental.
You may be right, but I can't help thinking that someone is behind all this.
Do you really believe that a doneigada would want to take over the island? Cousin, you know how much I respect you, but frankly, this doesn't seem very coherent. But I see it's already quite late. If you'll excuse me, dear cousin. Regrettably, I must leave you.
Where are you going?
Not very far, rest assured. But I have a small personal matter to take care of, you see. Don't be concerned. There's absolutely no risk. Use the opportunity to take some rest. You've really performed miracles recently. See you later.
But why would he leave like that? Guard, do you know where my cousin is going?
Sorry, Your Excellency. His Highness didn't tell me anything.
You are one of his bodyguards, aren't you?
I am, Your Excellency. But recently it has been difficult to force His Highness to accept our presence.
Recently? You mean this isn't the first time he's left without an escort?
I'm sorry, Your Excellency.
You better tell me everything.
But Fine. I don't mean to be disrespectful towards him. But His Highness's behavior has been very peculiar recently. He sleeps very little, and goes out alone almost every night.
And it didn't occur to anyone that I should be informed?
Well, His Highness had specifically ordered us not to tell you about it.
And where does he go? I thought the days when he used to go from tavern to tavern were over.
He doesn't go to taverns, Your Excellency. From what I know, he goes outside the city.
Where could he go outside the city?
I've no idea. We saw him going north. That's all I know.
Listen, I understand this matter is putting you in a difficult situation. You were supposed to protect my cousin wherever he went, but he refused and ordered you to keep your mouth shut. But Constantine is not just my governor. He's my cousin. I'm worried about him. He's already been abducted once when leaving the city. So, if you know anything else...
I don't really know where he's going, Your Excellency. But I think I know where you could find out. When he doesn't leave the palace, he stays in his office for hours. He writes so much down in there that he could fill entire books. Here, I have the key. Take it. I hope you find His Highness and manage to make him see reason.
I don't like this at all. What could he be doing outside every night?
Normally, I would have said getting drunk at the tavern. But clearly that isn't the case.
This boy has always behaved erratically. I'd love to believe that he's out meeting girls, but sadly I doubt it.
He never was very reasonable. But it is true that these walks at night are rather suspicious.
Ever since he became Onol-Menawi, he has become even stranger than he was before.
I'm starting to believe that the revelations of Enon-Mil Frichtimen had some truth to them. Let's rummage through his papers. We may find a clue.
Sorry. It can't be easy to discover that your cousin has descended into madness.
Your cousin now sees threats where there aren't any.
Now he's talking about killing people simply because they have seen him. We can't let him do this.
We can't let him do this, my child. We must help him.
Here! And let's go!
Our enemies! Things are about to get dicey! Let's see if we can ward off this fight!
May the trees on your road always bear fruit!
Thanks. You saved us. These beasts would have torn us to shreds.
These animals were strange, as if they were enraged. Thanks again, Renaigse.
I'm glad I could help you. And perhaps you can do me a favor in return. I'm looking for a young man, a Renaigse, but he looks a bit like an Onol-Menawi.
Someone like you?
In some ways. But his marks are different, darker.
He's talking about the crazy doneigada.
Indeed, that might be him. Do you know where to find him?
No, we see him passing by around nightfall, but we don't know where he's going.
He walks along the path, often followed by some beasts.
He has a sinister look in his eyes. He scares me, so we stay hidden.
And you do well to hide. I think he's the one who sent these animals to attack you. Do you have any idea how I could figure out where he's going?
He could hide in the old house. He would see him passing by and could follow, couldn't he?
You're right. If you take this path to the right, you'll reach an abandoned house. You can hide there. And from up there, you will be able to see the path perfectly.
Thank you. You've been a great help. And stay hidden. You may still be in danger.
Be prudent, Onol-Menawi.
You're very isolated here. Why live so far from a village?
It's a long story. Teer, will you tell him?
When I was young, I got engaged to a young man. But he wasn't my Minondanem. I thought he was, but I was wrong. And one day, I met the one I would love for all my life. As I had broken my engagement, we were exiled.
So, our parents came to settle here. They built this house, and we were born.
There. Now you know the whole story. Do you want to know anything else?
I'll leave you alone.
Qua awalem seg.
We can't be seen from the path. Let's wait here to see where Constantine goes.
Look, he's coming.
I see him. And he's not alone.
Here comes your cousin. In very strange company.
It's Constantine. With some friends.
This kid is resourceful. It looks like he opened this passage for himself.
Constantine, what are you doing?
Cousin! You're here! I would have preferred that you learn all of this another way. To be able to reveal everything to you in better circumstances. But whatever power we earn, there are some things that escape us.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but what are you doing here?
I seem monstrous to you. I am well aware of that. But I promise to explain everything when the moment is right. Then you will understand. You will see. The temptation is so great to share all with you right now. You have done so much for me. You have given me so much. I haven't forgotten, believe me. But I still have more to do. Forgive me and have patience. Hold them back. But do not kill him for anything in the world.
Constantine, come back and explain yourself.
What your cousin did to this Nadai is a If Katasach had known, he would have let him go.
My child. It seems he has descended to madness.
He won't come back. He's the one who He's the one responsible for this.
You think I saw this? spoiled brat how to wield a weapon. And now he's throwing beasts around.
He's gone mad. It's the only explanation.
Take a potion if you want to cast more spells. Let's see if you can ward off this fate. Your armor will no longer protect you. Move away. Things are about to get dicey.
Shadow engulf our enemies.
Move away. Things are about to get dicey.
May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Let's see if you can ward off this fire. I need healing.
Your magic is running out. Take a potion.
Move away. Things are about to get dicey. Let's see if you can ward.
I am wounded. May the enlightened come to my help.
Flesh of my earth, help me. You saw him do it, didn't you? You saw him draw from me, steal my children, my guardians, pervert my force.
Yes, but I don't understand.
What he wants, eternity, strength, power. It is what they all want. Those who take without looking beyond themselves. Like all those from the faraway lands.
He wasn't like that. He couldn't care less about all that.
Then it is the sickness, the brevity of his existence that terrified him to the point it changed who he is. You must stop him. Each time that he bonds, he destroys me a little more. And with me, the hope for a cure. And now it's my heart, my most sacred sanctuary that he covets. You must kill him.
It is madness.
The consequence of his folly, yes. Believe me, there is no other solution. Stop him, flesh of my earth, or there will be nothing left to save.
I still can't believe this.
I understand what you feel. I have trouble believing it myself, but Enon Mil Frichtimen never lies. We need to stop your cousin by any means possible.
Even if I hesitate to follow the orders of a talking stone, I know what I saw, and I fear that this thing has not lied to us. What your cousin is doing is horrific, and he must be stopped.
I understand. You were raised with him. He is no doubt your closest relative, your best friend. But he has paled completely. And I would like that we do not run aground with him.
We must learn more if we want to understand his plans and prepare against them. This hiding place he was talking about in his notes. We must find it.
If in his folly he remembered just a small bit of what I taught him, then he shall warn his guard to be ready for us. We will need to be discreet.
and find ourselves allies.
You're thinking of all the creatures that he has perverted. A veritable army.
Precisely. And against an army we will need soldiers. The natives will follow you because their god has ordered it.
We might also be able to count on help from the Nords. We'll need to speak to their admiral. We should also be able to count on Sieglinde. Her troops will be all the more welcome. And of course, we can also go and find the Mother Cardinal, as well as Governor Buren. What an absurd project. On the continent, they would brand us crazy, but not here. On an island where everything is possible, and all folly is accepted. Let us go. We need to put an end to all of this.
Karans, do you need something?
I must leave you. See you later.
What brings you here on Almanawi?
I came to ask for your help in stopping my cousin, Dunkus. Did you hear about the attacks of creatures led by strange guardians throughout the island?
Yes, Darren sent a messenger to tell me about it.
My cousin was sick, and to cure him, Katasak used the bonding ritual on him. But the power he received from it made him mad, and he started bonding himself in other places. He transformed his guardians each time, and used them to attack those he considers to be his rivals.
What you're telling me is terrifying. Katasak and Devosh Teer should never have bonded him. Your cousin is breaking the balance. He's consuming, and will only want to consume more.
Indeed. Enonmil Frichtimen warned me that Constantine was now targeting the sanctuary at the heart of the island. I cannot fight him alone. I need allies. I intend to go and find the other factions and ask for their support. But I also need your people. Because we must all stand together to stop the threat that is weighing on the island.
Your will to create an alliance between all the peoples on this island is wise and noble. And the call of Enonmil Frichtimen cannot remain unanswered. We will be by your side in the battle. I am not a fighter, but Daedra will lead our warriors. And I would also like for you to take this weapon. I pray it will be useful in the fight that is coming.
Thank you, Dunkus.
Don't thank me. You managed to earn my people's trust. And you fight for a cause that affects us all. May the earth support each of your steps. And may the volcano give you its strength.
I must admit that I expected Dunkus to be more angered when he learned what Constantine had done.
I think his god told him before we even arrived.
He's a sage among sages. Even amongst the doneigada. Enon frichtimen speaks in his ear.
He is an intelligent man. He must have guessed the purpose of our visit before we even spoke to him.
And he is a wise and patient man. In another context, he would have been an amazing priest.
It's true. He took it with a relaxed acceptance. It's probably an old sage thing.
That confirms it. I made the right choice. Teer Fradee couldn't have a better High King. Your Eminence, I salute you.
Sir de Sardet, what can I do for you?
Do you remember I thought that someone must have been responsible for the attacks you sustained?
Yes, you thought that this guardian who sent us the animals couldn't have been acting alone.
And I was right, sadly.
You're hesitating. Are you afraid of my reaction?
Indeed. As the person responsible is none other than my cousin, Constantine.
Does this mean that the congregation has decided to wage war on us? And thanks to which obscure alliance has your cousin been able to manipulate these creatures?
Constantine acted alone, and he betrayed us as much as he betrayed you, believe me. As for the way he manipulated these creatures, do you remember that my cousin was sick?
Absolutely. And it is said that his recovery was the result of a rather suspicious miracle. Are you telling me that your cousin has made a pact with the demons of this island?
Something like that. He was cured by a doneigada of the island who performed a bonding ritual. But the power he received from this made him thirsty for more, and he bonded himself to other places, thus gaining control over the Guardians who were protecting these sacred places.
But why attack us? Did his madness make him forget about our alliance?
His thirst for power is making him want to control the island entirely by himself. And I know that for this purpose he will soon attack the natives' main sanctuary on the volcano. I won't stand a chance against all the creatures he's taken control of. And I need some help. Others have already joined me. But we also need the support of Teer. Having a common enemy should help us forget all the differences that have been opposing us.
The idea that we would protect the sanctuary from an insular demon is completely insane. But you have helped us several times, and I trust your judgment. You can count on our help. My men will fight by your side.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Thanks to your wisdom, we have a chance to prevail. I must leave you.
Naturally, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sardet, and to what do I owe this honor?
I have come to solicit your help and to propose we forge an alliance.
An alliance? Against whom?
You remember, no doubt, the attacks that fell upon Hikmet, but also San Mateus, and against the natives.
Of course. You told me that different Guardians sent the beasts.
Precisely. And the Guardians were manipulated by someone. I discovered who it was. This revelation will not please you, but I have no choice but to tell you. It is Constantine.
Surely you jest. What is the meaning of this? Do you know how many men have died during these attacks?
Allow me to continue, I beg you. My cousin's sickness shook him to the core. Then, there was a ritual and his capture. And Constantine has fallen into madness. He has been increasing these rituals in order to link himself to the island, to gain power and manipulate its creatures. He is fighting a war against everyone, and it now appears he wants to take control of Teer. He is preparing to attack the volcano sanctuary, and I need help to stop him. It is in the name of the congregation that I come to see you. Constantine betrayed us as well.
That's madness. It is complete madness. All of this superstitious nonsense. These absurd theories. I believed you sincere, de Sardet. Which does not mean that I believe you now. But no matter. You are in need of men to stop your cousin who has already attacked us?
Precisely. I have already gathered support, but I need as many allies as possible.
Let us be clear. I don't believe for an instant that this story has a link to the island or whatever foolishness, but I do trust you. You have rendered us valuable services and have supported us. And since we cannot allow the crimes of your cousin to go unpunished, we will stand beside you.
Thank you, Excellency, thank you. You have improved our chances of success tenfold. I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
Hello, Commander.
Lord de Sardet, how can I be of service to you?
You seem to know Kurt well.
If you're expecting her to tell you some nasty little secrets, it might be best if I head away.
Don't say such silly things, Kurt. You know I only have good things to say about you. We have known each other a long time, and I think we have been a mercenary. Some would tell you, perhaps that's, but I do not. Anything else?
I have come to ask for your help.
I'm at your service, Your Excellency. What is it you want from me?
We need reinforcements to protect the sanctuary of the islanders, north of the island.
Very well. I will send some troops there. But may I ask who or what they will be fighting?
Creatures, in great numbers. And probably my cousin.
I beg your pardon?
As your men must have told you, he has changed a lot recently. Ever since he was cured of the malichor and bonded to the island, he has become obsessed with power. He is now targeting the heart of the island. If he succeeds, we're all doomed.
I have indeed heard reports of the Governor's peculiar behavior. Since he is our employer, I asked my men to turn a blind eye. But thanks to your help, we avoided dishonor. I won't forget it. If you're telling me that we are in danger, and that we need to go to this sanctuary, we'll go.
Thank you, Commander.
Anything else?
I have to go. Goodbye.
I also have a lot to do. Until next time, Your Excellency.
To Sardet, what can I do for you?
I have come to ask for your help, Admiral. My cousin has been plunged into madness, and he apparently wishes to conquer the whole island. He took control of many creatures by reenacting rituals he learned from the islanders. And now he uses them to attack the cities and the villages of those he considers to be his rivals.
A difficult situation, admittedly, but one that does not concern us. Who's in charge of the island is none of our business, to Sardet, and you know that.
It actually does concern you. If my cousin takes control of the island, soon there will be no ports where your ships can berth. He's not looking for political influence. He desires power. Absolute power.
I see. It's a decent argument. So what now?
We must stop him at all costs. And for that, I will need allies. I already have the support of other factions, but I was hoping I could count on the help of the Nauts.
You can. My men aren't really used to fighting on land, but they will be by your side. You have proven time and time again that we can trust you.
Thank you, Admiral.
May the winds be in your favor, de Sardet. You'll need all the help you can get.
The cave that Constantine indicated in his note shouldn't be very far.
He has guards that are very loyal to him. There's a chance they'll be protected by hideout.
A bit of poison on my blade.
Then let's go!
Watch out! maybe, and watch me protect you in this battle. Poison on my blade. Then let's go!
Execute fire!
May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Your fears are necessary.
May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Constantine has marked several places on this map. I recognize some of them. They are sacred places for the natives, places of connection. This place, this journal. My poor Constantine, you have completely lost your mind. What are you hoping to achieve with these rituals?
No doneigad has ever done such a thing. It goes against the balance that we are defending. Enon mir frichtimen was right. Your cousin wants power. He is feeding from the strength of Teer Fradee.
According to the doneigada, each bond gives some form of power to the one who makes it. Your cousin never has enough, apparently.
The people from the continent are not suited to the magic of this island. We don't understand it. Its strength has given your cousin a thirst for power, and now he'll never have enough.
If you want my opinion, once he had a taste of the power of the doneigada, he decided he wanted more. The natives uphold a certain balance. For everything they receive, they give back to the island. Your cousin doesn't.
So much so that he's threatening Enon mir frichtimen himself. He wants to take his place. To think he's been plotting this absurd plan for weeks. He even used us to achieve it. The intruder in the sanctuary was certainly sent by him, to scout the place. We'll need to gather allies if we're going to stop him. But we will also have to weaken him and break apart the bonds that he's established.
You're perfectly right, my child. And only a very wise doneigad will know how to proceed. Duncus may be willing to listen to us. At least there's a better chance than with the High Priestess.
Even though I've studied the rituals of the natives, I really don't know how to proceed. I can only think of one person that could help us. Duncus. Mev is too hostile towards strangers.
I don't know exactly how these things work. And unless you do, we're gonna need help. How about Duncus? Mev scares me a little.
In that case, it would be best to go see Duncus. After all, he did say that his clan knew how to heal the earth, didn't he? And Mev is a bit too hostile.
You're right. Let's go and find him.
What brings you here on Almanawi?
As I've told you before, my cousin bonded himself in many places before he decided to target the heart of the island.
You did tell me, and you must know that by doing so, he has acquired a power that no doneigada has ever possessed.
That is why I need your help. We need to break some of his bonds in order to weaken him.
Rest assured, all the doneigada will answer to the call of their Hoi King. And with their help, we will heal the wound your cousin has opened. However, to accomplish this, it is I who will need your help.
What can I do?
During the ritual, the one who is bonding himself spills some of his blood near the base of a stone. And this blood summons a guardian. The guardian lifts the stone so that it may serve as an anchor point for the bond. The only way to break this bond is to have a guardian topple the stone. We will be able to do it, but these rituals take a long time. Too long to be done quickly. So, in the meantime, you must prevent your cousin from drawing magic from the place. Here, take these seeds and plant them at the bottom of your cousin's bonding stones. These plants grow very fast, and their roots will prevent him from drawing the strength of Teer Fradee. However, you must be careful, because the guardians corrupted by him will come to defend the stones.
Thank you, Dunkus.
And thank you for wanting to stop your cousin. Don't worry. I will send my people to finish the work of the plants I have given you.
Hello, Glenda.
Birt Tirtomad on Almanawi. What can I do for you?
To tell you that men are going to come all the way to the sanctuary. Some Renaigse.
I thank you for coming to warn me in person. But our High King has already spoken to me. I am disgusted to welcome warriors of the faraway island. But the decision is not mine. And in truth, we do not have the choice, do we?
No. It is all of Teer Fradee and Enon frichtimen that's in danger. We have need of every able warrior to protect them. You need to prepare yourself as well. I fear that you will not be spared.
We will fight, have no doubts. Because such is our duty and our will. These are our lands that are attacked.
I have no doubt. Good luck, Glendan.
May the rocks give you their toughness. You shall need it more than everyone else. Can I do anything else for you?
I must leave. Goodbye.
Qua awelam seg.
see if you can ward off this fate! Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Let's see if you can ward off this fate! I am wounded! Lady Enlightened, come to my help! Your magic is running out! Take a look!
Move away! We can access the stone now and plant Lucas's seed. Look! The plant seems to be growing extremely fast. The doneigada of Duncas's clan are sure to be here soon to finish breaking the bond. plant the seed Dunkus gave us at the base of the raised stone. Look! The plant seems to be growing extremely fast. The doneigada of Dunkus's clan are sure to be here soon to finish breaking the bond.
How are you feeling, my child? What you are about to do is difficult.
Don't make it harder than it has to be, Petrus. Fighting against your cousin isn't pleasant, but it's the only logical thing to do.
A nicer way of saying he has no choice.
Indeed. I must stop Constantine, regardless of what it may cost me. Not only to obtain an antidote to the malichor, but also to save this island.
I have learned many things by your side, and thanks to you, I was able to give my mother back to the earth. I won't forget this. And this is my land, my people. I will be by your side. You will not go through this ordeal alone.
What's happened to Constantine is regrettable. But you're doing what must be done. You're a good person, Greenblood. And you can count on your old master of arms to protect you.
We will all be with you. After all, this concerns all of us, doesn't it?
Naturally.
We will be by your side to support you both physically and spiritually.
Thank you. You have been precious allies, and you are proving once more the value of your friendship. Now let's go. It'll be a shame if we arrive too late.
The entrance to the sanctuary has been forced. A fight took place here.
Constantine managed to get through. Let's hurry.
Sardet, glad to see you. Sadly, we couldn't stop your cousin.
He suddenly stormed our position, along with a horde of enraged creatures. We didn't stand a chance.
And now there are beasts attacking us relentlessly. My men are doing all they can to stop them.
We thought it best to stay here to keep the path open for you, should you want to face your cousin.
Thank you. You did well. I'll do everything in my power to catch him and stop him from carrying out his plan. Keep holding on as long as you can. I need to be able to reach him.
Wait! There's a group of creatures coming.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
A bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go!
Of this fight! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
I'll stay here with them, Greenblood.
He's right. We must help them stop these creatures.
Are you sure?
Every minute gained is a minute that allows you to save us.
Glad to have you with us, Kurt. Just like the good old days.
And thank you too, Afra. It is an honor.
Enough with the talking, Greenblood. Go.
And stop, Constantine. I'd hate to be doing this for nothing.
In that case, thank you. And good luck to both of you.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
A bit of poison on my blade. Then let's go! You can ward off this armor will no longer protect you!
There you are. I was starting to think that we would die here for nothing. Your cousin just passed through here with a horde of beasts, and he keeps sending us more.
We won't hold very long. We're not used to fighting creatures like these.
We are, and we will hold long enough for you to reach the heart, even if we must die in the process. But you must chase him. You must prevent him from performing the ritual at all costs. If Enon Mil Frichtimen dies, we're all doomed.
I'm well aware of that, believe me. But here come some more beasts. To arms!
I'll stay with my people.
And I'll stay with her. One blade more can't hurt.
We need to prevent the beasts from following your tracks.
Yeah, we could use some help here, to be honest.
I wouldn't have put it that way, but the Moridigan isn't wrong.
You see? Over and done.
You should go now. And may the volcano give you its strength.
Well, good luck.
There you are. Praise the Enlightened. Your cousin...
has already reached the heart. Our other allies informed me. They are also trying to stop the creatures.
What do you intend to do?
Pursue him all the way there and do everything I can to stop him.
In that case, may the Enlightened keep you in his divine... Oh no. More beasts are coming! Be prepared!
Running out! Take a potion!
This time it's my turn. I'm staying with my people.
I knew you'd say that.
Well, I wasn't going to let the young ones get all the glory.
Your help would be a blessing, Father.
You see? You should go now, my child. Be careful. We are all praying for your success.
Thank you, Petrus. Be careful too. Constantine! Restrain him!
do not desire your death. I'm sorry.
Why? Why have you done this?
But for you. For us. So that we may live free at last.
This makes no sense. Constantine, it's madness.
You don't understand because you're still attached to the old world. This old, dying world which, to survive, has betrayed, used, and manipulated us and would not have hesitated to kill us.
Perhaps, but
I've seen death, cousin. And I understood the vanity of it all. My father's ruses just so he could earn more power. The political bowing and scraping to preserve corrupted nations. I have been offered unrivaled power, allowing me to get rid of this. To send the old world back to its inevitable death and to build something new here. Something unique. And this new world is my gift to you. You and I could be its new gods, the immortal and benevolent monarchs.
He himself is the incarnation of the old world he is speaking of. He has its vices and its poison. For his own immortality, he's prepared to destroy everything around him, to break millennia of cycles. I implore you, flesh of my land, think of all the lives that will come to an end to feed his pride.
Don't listen to this old god. He's like all the others, after all, clinging to life. All you have to do is to bind yourself here, with me. And we will be gods together, forever. Come. Oh, what a shame.
Good night, sweet prince.
After the fall of Constantine, my young student managed to establish stronger links between the old nations and the natives. Some of their doneigada were even invited to the continent, and with their help, it slowly became a land filled with life again. And for the first time in a long while, the number of cases of the malichor is decreasing. Those who bravely fought at Dor-had-Genadu were celebrated everywhere. After all, if it weren't for this unlikely alliance, the island would have fallen into Constantine's greedy hands. Sieglinde took Kurt as an advisor, but he insisted on keeping his place alongside his former student and friend, watching his back, as he always had. Siora obtained the title of Marl of the Red Spears alongside her twin. She leads them with wisdom, but often reunites with the one she still calls her Karants. Afra set aside her weapons and went back to her research on the native culture and flora of the island. It is said that she is even writing a book with the help of Dunkasi's clan when not visiting her friends. For his bravery, Vasco was awarded the rank of commander. He now travels the sea at the head of a whole fleet, but he often comes back to visit his brother-in-arms. Petrus's ambitions have finally been fulfilled.
he obtained the much-coveted title of Cardinal. Despite the responsibilities implied by such a title, he still sometimes visits the one he calls his child. Despite the help Ulan received, which allowed him to restore the importance of the seaside Nemeus, he still had to renounce the role of Marl as he faced the contempt of the other clans. Her friendship with the Renaigse helped Deirdre to overcome her reticence. She willfully accepted to follow the orders of her new High King. Dunkas and his people spent a lot of time with savants and theologians. Patiently, they shared their knowledge of the Earth and learnt new techniques from one another, and in so doing, they restored balance between the New World and the Old. Following the investigations revealing the horrifying practices of Dr. Asili, the Alliance changed their methods and even appointed an ethics council to oversee the work of its scholars. The public revelations of St. Matthias's life led to a deep change in Teleme. The Ordo Luminis was dismantled for good, and the missionaries' purpose is now to establish dialogue rather than conversion. Aware that their culture of secrets would lead them to their demise, the Nords changed their methods. They welcomed numerous new recruits amongst them, notably natives. Under Sieglinder's control, the Guard returned to the honorable values that had made its reputation. And they did so all the more easily now that their shadiest members were out of the picture.